now I'm going to give you 6 predictions, MVP predictions, Cy Young predictions, World Series matchup and winner predictions. And first, before we get started into this, I'm just going to say right now that I am sticking with my prediction that I gave a few weeks ago, that I believe the Cardinals are going to go from worst to first. I think they're going to win the NL Central. And I really do believe they're going to make a trade for a starting pitcher at the deadline. I don't know if that's going to be somebody as prominent as Shane Bieber. I think that might be wise for the Cardinals to do that. Just like I think it's probably wise that they signed Jordan Montgomery and not make this an issue. But the Cardinals are not going to do that, I don't believe. But I think the Cardinals are going to make a trade for a starting pitcher at the trade deadline. And I think it's going to be a deal where they deal maybe a minor prospect or two to get a guy in the last year of his contract, much in the way that they traded for J.A. Happ, Jordan Montgomery, John Lester. These are the deals the Cardinals make. I think if they bolster their starting pitching rotation, they to me, they have the best lineup in the NL Central. And if they can fortify their starting pitching rotation, they may not have the best rotation, but it might be good enough to get them through the regular season. And it might, if they can have an average to slightly above average rotation, I like them to win this division. So I'm going to stick with the prediction that the St. Louis Cardinals are going to win the NL Central because I like their lineup a little bit better than the Cubs. And I think their bullpen's very matches up very well, but it's the starting pitching that makes the Cubs a lot of people's favorite to win the division. But I think the Cardinals are going to improve upon that because I think they're going to have to. But let me know what you think in the comments. So let's get into these predictions. I have 5 predictions outside of that. Number 1, and this is a bold one, but this is a player I like a lot. And I actually like a lot of what the Kansas City Royals are doing. And Bobby Witt Jr., I believe, is going to win the AL MVP. All right. Before you start going crazy, like maybe some of you are like, who's Bobby Witt Jr.? Well, the Royals just extended him, gave him a massive contract in the offseason. And this is a player who the Royals brought up in 2022 in his rookie season. You know, is iffy. He had his ups and downs. He hit 254, 20 home runs, 80 RBIs. But last year, he took a massive jump, hitting 30 home runs, 96 RBIs, hit 276. His on-base percentage needs to be a little bit 319 on-base percentage, OPS 813, OPS plus at 120. So I think this is projecting forward a little bit, but he's going to be 24 years old. Sometimes, like, I think he's going to enter the season stronger, a little bit better. This Royals team has improved vastly. Like, they signed Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha. They have Cole Ragans, who's actually, I checked, he's pretty far up there in the AL Cy Young Award odds if it's the same Cole Ragans that the Kansas City Royals have on their stat. So all of a sudden they throw out Cole Ragans, Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, who's coming off one of the best years of his career. Granted, you're probably only going to get 130, 140 innings from Michael Wacha, but still, that's starting rotation. This team might be halfway decent this year if they can, their position players. It's a big question. I mean, outside of Salvi and Bobby Witt, there's a lot of question marks there. But if they can hit, if some of these younger guys and especially their position players can hit and do well, this is a team that's going to be on the rise and that's going to surprise some people and maybe finishes, maybe not a playoff team, but a 500 team. And if Bobby Witt and them, and I get it, the MVP usually goes to a player on a winning team. And that's where where the odds are against me. And the odds would say, Bobby Witt's probably not going to win the AL MVP. But this is a player that can steal bases, play good defense, and hit home runs. This is a 5-tool player in my estimation, playing shortstop. Let's go to NL MVP. All right. And some people are gonna say, oh, homer pick, but I like Austin Riley and I like Nolan Arenado to win NL MVP. And I'll tell you, Austin Riley, first of all, is going to be my official pick. Austin Riley is coming off of a year where he hit 281, slugged 516, OPS 861, OPS plus 128, which is down for a couple, some points from the last 2 seasons, but he's a back-to-back All-Star, back-to-back seasons, hitting 35 plus home runs in an offense with the Braves that they're going to score a lot of runs. The Braves are just going to score a lot of runs. And Austin Riley, I believe, is going to be a reason why they do so. And I think this is the year where he's entering his age 27 season. And according to Baseball Savant, he is, let me just clarify. He was number 21 in hard hit rate. And I lost it. Number 18 in barrel rate. And he's going to be playing every day for a good team. Like I said, there's going to be a ton of RBI situations for him. Nolan Arenado on the other side, I think he's a fine bet to make too. And this is not betting advice, but just looking at the odds, I think Nolan Arenado enters the season with a lot to prove. And I just think that he's going to have a chip. I know some of the comments he's been making in the media about the young players not being able to talk baseball. It's kind of been weird, little off-putting, but I think Nolan Arenado enters the season with a lot to prove. And Nolan, when he's focused and when he's in a groove, I mean, there's really no better player that I've seen. When he gets hot, he is hot. And I just think that this feels like a Nolan Arenado year, a resurgence year. And I think the odds are really good. But my official pick for NL MVP is Austin Riley. Now let's go to the Cy Young Award. And this is chalk. This is where I get a little chalky. But Corbin Burns going to Baltimore just makes a ton of sense for that team that won the AL East last year. I think a lot of people forget that. They won the AL East. They're only going to get strengthened by Jackson Holiday coming up, and their prospects and their young core of players are the envy of Major League Baseball. And they are the best team on paper, in my opinion, in the AL East. I think they're going to win the AL East again. And Corbin Burns, I mean, they didn't have a pitcher last season. I mean, I know they lost Kyle Gibson to the Cardinals. The Orioles did not have a pitcher of Corbin Burns caliber entering the 2023 season. Now they enter 2024 with Corbin Burns at the top of that rotation, and he's also at the top of the AL Cy Young Award. He's also up there. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. You put him in this on this team rather, and he's going to give you close to 200 innings. He's going to be just a legitimate ace, a legitimate number one starter for this team. And I think he's going to win a ton of games. And it's just a perfect match in my estimation. So Corbin Burns going to win the NL Cy Young Award. And I know he got banged up in his start in Seoul, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to be pitching for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I think he's going to have more good games than bad games. I think he's a candidate for Rookie of the Year, if you ask me. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto, I believe, wins the NL Cy Young. I think he's nasty. I think he's got the right stuff. And he's going to be pitching for the Dodgers, so he's going to win a ton of games. I think he's going to strike out a ton of people. So Yoshinobu Yamamoto is my pick to win the NL Cy Young. Now let's go to who I think is going to make it to the World Series. I already talked about one team, so I'm going to mention them again. I think the Orioles, this is the year. They had that starting pitcher at the top of the rotation, Corbin Burns, the legitimate number one pitcher, and that's going to propel them to the World Series in the American League. I think they get over the hump. The emergence of Jackson Holiday and another year of development for those young players, I think they're going to enter the same category as those Astros teams, those Braves teams, those, you name it, the good teams that we've covered over the past several years. I think they enter that territory this year and they make it to the World Series in the American League. Now on the National League side, I think it's going to be a battle between the Dodgers and the Braves. And frankly, I don't know if there are two teams that are, as far as talent goes, as far as on paper talent, that match up with the Dodgers and the Braves in the National League. I just don't know. I don't think the Cardinals are close to that. I don't really think anybody in the NL Central is close to that for sure. I mean, I like what Arizona's doing, but on paper, the Dodgers are just a better team. And so are the Braves. So I'm going to go with the Braves making it in the National League. So we have a matchup between the Orioles and the Braves in the World Series. And I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles. I think the Orioles beat the Braves in the World Series and become World Series champions in Baltimore. And that whole town is just going to go crazy for this team this year. They're going to be one of those teams that, I'm not going to lie to you, I'll be a Cardinals fan for the rest of my life. But this Orioles team, it was fun last year, and it's going to be fun again this year. And they're going to be my pick to win the World Series. But let me know what you think in the comments. Who's going to win the World Series? What's your World Series matchup? Who's going to win Cy Young for both American League, National League? Who's going to win the MVP? I want to know. Let me know in the comments. And until next time, first of all, thank you so much for watching, listening. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe to the channel. And until next time, be good, everybody. Let's go, Redbirds. 1 week till opening day. I'm excited. I hope you are too. And until next time, be good, everyone, and we will see you later.